Sumi, the Japanese word for ink, is the traditional painting and writing medium of the arts in East Asia. These Japanese children are writing calligraphy with it. Chinese artist Li Geng uses it for ink paintings. Here, Yasuko Masaki is painting lotuses. It is a sensitive and highly expressive medium. The range of tone is vast. The variety of effects which can be produced by adjusting the amount of water on the brush is immense. Sumi is made by grinding it with water on an inkstone. You grind a little at a time until it is a smooth paste. Reiko Yoshida is writing the word sumi in an old form of the Japanese phonetic script. Calligraphy is an art of line. The key or energy in the line is important. Sumi is a simple mixture of soot and bone glue, which is a kind of gelatin. It was invented by the Chinese. The earliest form were the sumi balls, which you see on the left. It was brought over to Japan by the 5th century. Nara, the ancient capital in the 8th century, became the main area of production. It was used for copying sutras. Nara still produces 90% of all Japan's sumi. Bokundo is one of the 3 main sumi manufacturers. Although much of the production is done by hand, Bokundo also uses state-of-the-art technology. Soot is one of the components of sumi. There are 3 kinds. This soot is from the burning of vegetable oils. It has relatively small molecules and is a reflective black. Soot from red pine has irregular-sized molecules, and the sumi is an absorbent black. This soot is no longer produced as it's uneconomic. Soot from the industrial combustion of petroleum is the most commonly used nowadays. Its characteristics can be controlled by temperature. Perfume is also added to disguise the smell of the bone glue. These wicks used to be commonly used in the production of soot from vegetable oils. Oil is poured into the lower saucer and the wick lit. Soot is collected in the top saucer. About 200 grams of soot is collected a day, enough to make 10-15 gram sumi sticks. This soot is industrially produced and imported from China or Southeast Asia. Soot is transported directly down into the factory via the pipes. This soot is made from tung oil. The second ingredient in sumi is bone glue. It is made from the bones and hides of horses and cows and is mainly imported from China and Southeast Asia. Bone glue has different levels of translucency or purity, depending on the ingredients and the processing. These skins were once drums. Bokundo is experimenting with recycling them into bone glue. The bone glue is dissolved in hot water. The soot is mixed with the bone glue at a ratio of 10 to 6. It takes about an hour to thoroughly mix it. This is enough raw sumi for one craftsman for one day's work. While it's warm, it's still soft and pliable, but it soon begins to stiffen up. The craftsmen work in separate rooms to prevent impurities getting into the sumi. They work during the winter months from the early mornings when it's cold to prevent the bone glue from going off. This means that sometimes the raw sumi stiffens up too much. He has to knead it with his feet to soften it. It is put into a plastic bag and he sits on it to keep it warm. He begins by weighing the sumi. And then kneads it on a warmed iron plate. If this isn't done properly, the sumi won't grind well in the inkstone later on. The sumi is put into a mould and then pressed. An experienced craftsman makes about 300 sumi sticks a day. It takes him about 3 years to learn the trade. At Bokuundo there are 6 craftsmen. The coloured sumi is made in the same way as the black. It is made from mineral pigments and bone glue. It is ground in a special white pallet, not an inkstone. There are 8 to 10 sizes of moulds at Bokuundo. The smallest is for a 15-gram stick, the largest for 800 grams. Patterns and the names of the sumis are carved in the moulds. The edges are shaved off the sumi sticks. The leftovers are reconstituted into sumi for woodblock printing.
Yeah, it's like leather dry pottery. Yes, you don't need
The sumi sticks are dried. They are hung up by straw or laid out on nets. They used to be dried in ash, but it's now unobtainable. The sumi takes between 3 to 6 months to dry, depending on the size.
11月18日1週間ぐらい前のやつ。でもまだちょっとこう曲がるの分かるかな。
A weak bone glue glaze is applied to stop the hand from sticking to the sumi stick when grinding. The name of the sumi imprinted in the sumi stick is painted with gold paint. These sumi sticks are covered in gold leaf for decoration. At Bokundo, they also make a variety of bottled inks. School children use them for practicing their handwriting. There is also another kind made with the same ingredients as ground sumi, which artists use for large work. Sumi sticks are sold in Paulonia boxes. After use, they should be wiped dry and put back in the box and kept in a cool, dark place. Sumi comes in a range of tints, basically brown or blue. The tints are clearly seen in the diluted lines. The blue tint is on the left, the brown on the right. Some artists combine sumis to make a colour of their own. Sumi has been used for over 1,000 years. It is a highly expressive medium. Despite the digital revolution, it will undoubtedly continue to fascinate and delight people who use it for generations to come.